Hello, and welcome to a brand new edition of Sports Night. I'm Ryan Jorgensen.
And I'm Shelby Granath.
Hey Shelby, so did you see Justin Timberlake's performance on the Grammys last night?
This is Sports Night, Ryan. We only talk about sports.
So you didn't see it?
Let's just roll the open. The wrestling team hosted the IIAC Championship on Friday. Did the Knights win their 21st consecutive title?
Plus, both the basketball teams were in action multiple times last week, and we have all the highlights.
And the Waverly-Shell Rock wrestling team was competing for a district title. We'll let you know how they did. This is Sports Night.
Last Friday, #1 ranked Wartburg took to the mat its final home duel of the season against the Cohawks of Coe College, and with it, Coach Miller's final conference championship duel as Wartburg's head coach.
Coach Miller is joining us now in the studio, but first, let's see how the Knights did.
Levick Arena was packed for Coach Miller's final conference championship duel, and the legendary Wartburg coach would not disappoint the home crowd. We start things off at the 133rd match. #1 ranked Kenny Anderson gets the takedown against Coach Jack O'Brien and would go to win by a pinfall. In the next match, Wartburg's Tommy Morocco would defeat Coe's Bo Westball by a score of 4-0 and record a nice reversal seen here. Next up for Wartburg was defending national champion and #1 ranked Cody Silvestri. Silvestri started the match out strong with a nice takedown and would go on to win by pinfall. After a brief intermission, the 157-pound match was tightly contested, and Coe's Dimitri Boer would win the Cohawks' only match of the night against Wartburg's Coe Welter. In the final highlight, 174 pounds, 5th-ranked Dylan Azinger scored a 6-4 win against 10th-ranked Ethan Bell. The win gave Wartburg its 21st consecutive IIAC Conference Championship and have won an astonishing 165 straight duels against Iowa Conference opponents.
And joining me now in the studio is Coach Miller. Coach, congratulations and thanks for joining us.
You bet.
How does this title compare to the other titles you've won?
Every title has been pretty cool, but this one, obviously my last time I'm going to be on the bench, and when you get that many in a row, there's so many people that have been involved in that streak since 1993 that it involves more than just our present team. So, you know, it feels like I got 21 teams out there all cheering for Wartburg, and I think it helps our kids knowing the tradition and the expectations. But everyone is special. That night was real special. Just being at home also was a pretty cool deal.
Okay, you mentioned all the people involved throughout these 21 years. A lot of them were there on Friday. Talk about the atmosphere in Levick.
Well, it's pretty cool. I wasn't prepared for the Coach Miller pictures up on the windows and all that, but it was a pretty electric environment. I know our kids really wanted to perform well, and I thought, you know, overall we did.
Okay. Now this is only the third time in program history that the team has gone 19-0. What does that say about this team?
Well, there's a lot of potential there, and I think we're still trying to get all the potential out of our team. And, you know, I've been saying all along we haven't all performed at our best at the same time yet, and we're working toward that. And I think if you've seen, we're getting pretty close. We're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. So that's exciting to know, and it's hard to do that, to get everybody going at the same time, but that's what we need to do.
Okay. Talk a little bit about the emotions on Friday, walking out for the last time, seeing all the banners.
Yeah, I tried not to think about it, but it was really nice that they put all those banners up in the Levick, and you know, not very often do you get to see them all together prominently like that. So I just tried to not to think about it, but you know, it was tough not to, and I'm just glad we put on a good show.
Has it hit you that it was your last home duel?
No, I still not really trying to think about it, but you know, I know, you know, we got about a month left of the season, and it comes up everywhere we go. And so it's kind of hard not to think about it, but I really like to be, I'm a lot better just trying to do it one event at a time, and we still got a couple to go.
Okay, now regionals aren't until March 2nd. How are you going to keep the team motivated and focused until then?
It's a challenge, man, when it's that far along, but I think we got a veteran team, and these guys, I think we really have a pretty focused group that know what they want, and because of that, we'll make it work. And you know, I'm looking forward, obviously, to the Nationals in Cedar Rapids. That's real nice. It's real to get fans to that tournament. But the regional obviously is very important just because that's how you qualify, and we don't want to leave anybody home.
Okay. Coach, again, thank you for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Sports Night, the men's basketball team returned to the hardwood looking to keep pace in the IIAC standings.
They're making fun of me, so I promptly made fun of them for not dancing with any girls lately.
And I go inside the numbers with the Wartburg Dance team's special performance last week. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Night. The women's basketball team faced a tall task last Wednesday, taking on Simpson, who up to that point was undefeated in conference play and had only one loss all season. The Knights got off to a good start. Bailey O'Brien can't finish but works to get her own rebound and puts it up and in. Wartburg leads 4-1 early. Simpson rallied as Kate Nielsen runs the break and finds the open cutter for the easy lay-in. Storm is back on top, 17-14. Knights wouldn't go away, however. A few possessions later, Abby Weideman spots up and buries the tray. It's tied at 19, and Coach Brian Nemeth, well, he isn't happy. He expected to be up by a lot more at this point. More from Simpson on the break. Nicole Crisp gets the steal and cruises down court before finding Nielsen for the deuce. Simpson would go into halftime ahead, but only up by 3 points. Wartburg starts the second half determined for the upset. O'Brien finds Kaylee Kladivo wide open. She finishes, and the Knights lead 31-29. Simpson then went on a huge run, including this steal and coast-to-coast lay-in from Nielsen. Turnovers would prove the difference as Wartburg had 25 of them in this contest. Down by as much as 14, the Knights rallied, and Holly Halstead cut the lead to 5 late in the game with this three. But that was as close as Wartburg would get, and Simpson leaves Levick with their 11th straight conference win, 67-59. The Knights struggled to contain probable Iowa Conference Player of the Year, Kate Nielsen, all night as she torched Wartburg for 27 points. Bailey O'Brien led Wartburg in the scoring column with 11.
And right after the women, the men took to the court. They were coming off a strong win over Central. Could they continue their play against another conference foe in Simpson? The Storm got the game started as Drew Bentley hits this shot for the first 2 points of the game. Then the Knights' Eddie Deemer puts in 2. And then on the defensive side, he gets a huge block. He had 2 blocks on the night. Simpson did keep the game close in the first half as Drew Bentley hit this 3, but good passing by the Knights set up Eddie Deemer for this huge dunk, and the Knights were up by 1 after 5 minutes into the game. Later in the half, Brandon Fallor gets to the lane, draws the foul, makes the basket, and completes the 3-point play. And at halftime, the Knights were up 38-26. Then Eddie Deemer is able to sneak behind the defense for his second dunk of the night. Deemer led the Knights with 18 points. Simpson tried to make a comeback as Ryan Olson draws the foul, makes the basket, completes the 3-point play. But the Knights were just too much and led by double digits in the entire second half as Mitchell Murphy drives through the lane. And then Drew Crawford adds another 3. The Knights shot 50.8% on the night and won the game. The final score, 74-62. We talked to Coach after the game.
Great job sharing the ball. I'm interested to see how many assists we have for the game. We had too many turnovers, certainly, but we did a nice job of pushing the ball in transition, getting up and down, and sharing the ball.
Deemer recorded his 3rd double-double of the season. The Knights shot extremely well from the field with their field goal percentage being above 500. Then the win improved the Knights' record to a 13-8 overall and 8-3 in the conference.
During halftime of the basketball games this week, there was a special performance. I took a closer look at the Wartburg Dance team and the extra testosterone on the court in this week's Inside the Numbers. Flats and tennis shoes. Girls and boys dancing together. Once a year, the Wartburg Dance team recruits male students to perform with them at halftime of a few Wartburg basketball games. The Coed Dance tradition is not something new here, but one aspect is.
It was about 5 years ago that it started kind of becoming the sort of dancing that it is today with all the stunts and the tricks.
This year, the dance was choreographed by Megan Pulse. Because of her background in dance, she was able to add something different to the choreography.
I've been doing partner dancing like this since middle school, so it was fun to get to bring back old stunts that I've done previously and put them in the routine.
With the help of the guys, the girls are able to take their performance to a new level. The Coed Dance this year includes many lifts and stunts that are not usually possible with just the girls dancing.
It's a lot of fun because you get to flip around, and a lot of times you don't really have total control, and so it takes a little getting used to. After you start to trust your partner and know that you're going to be safe, then it starts to be a lot of fun.
It's something different that the crowd hasn't seen before. It's like an eye catcher, I guess. Like, to be lifted in the air is not something our dance team normally does, so when we get to do that, it's a fun and different kind of dancing.
There's stuff I wouldn't have done otherwise. It's not very often someone lets you throw them around.
It's really fun. We do a lot of acrobatic stunts that a lot of people wouldn't think we'd be able to do.
After performing 4 times, the dancers agreed that the performance was a crowd pleaser.
I think they liked it a lot. We had a lot of cheers, especially the guys' friends coming out to watch them.
The audience seems really receptive to the co-ed dances, even more than when the dance team just performs with just the girls, and I think people like to see the tricks.
We do some of the crazy stunts where we look like we're going to drop our partners, and we don't. They kind of gasp, and then they clap.
So, should Wartburg have a permanent co-ed dance team?
I think it would be a good addition to the dance team, and we always enjoy doing it once a year, but it might be something that people would be interested in year-round.
I think they should have a co-ed dance team, besides just what I do for this month.
Maybe if there's some scholarships offered. I don't know. I think part of the thrill of the co-ed dance team is that it's just once a year and you got to come out and see it.
I don't know, I think it'd be a lot of fun, but the boys might lose interest. Sometimes they get a little ADD during practice and start wandering around, but it would be something interesting.
Reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Shelby Granath.
Coming up on Sports Night when we return, the women's and men's basketball teams traveled to Coe over the weekend. Find out how they did.
And we shine our senior spotlight on an impressive senior. So don't go anywhere, more SK in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Sports Night. The women's basketball team traveled to Cedar Rapids looking to bounce back against Coe. Wartburg came out with energy and jumped on the Cohawks quickly with this Carly Jacobs tray. Freshman Katie Clodivo led the charge for the Knights as she puts them up with a 3 with this nice layup. Coe kept it close in the first half. Junior Mary Halverson put the Cohawks within 4. Clodivo was dominant in the first half as she led all scorers with 12 points. She topped off her great half with a jumper here, and the Orange and Black went into the break with a slim 4-point lead. Wartburg didn't let go of the gas pedal in the second half as they increased their lead to double digits, partly because of this beautiful up and under move from Bailey O'Brien. The Cohawks made a last-minute charge, though. Freshman Gabby Ganaway slices through the D to get a jumper and to cut the lead to 8 with 3 minutes left. Then senior Kayla Wasco raises a layup over outstretched Knights to get within 5 with 43 seconds left. Wartburg would make their free throws and clinch the victory 77-0.
An aggressive attitude on offense, and we got really hard to guard early in the game. Defense that carries us, and I really thought together we played today together.
Clodivo had a breakout game, finishing with a team-high 18 points. The Knights never lost the lead in the game as they were all over the Cohawks. The Knights will play Wednesday night in Levick Arena against Buena Vista.
A huge part of Wartburg's win over Coe on Saturday was Bailey O'Brien. In her first year with the program, she leads the Knights in scoring and rebounding. This week, Kyle Pomolia shines our senior spotlight on the first-year senior.
So much of a basketball player's identity boils down to position. Guard, forward, or center. People compare you to others who occupy the same spot on the floor. But what about players who don't fit into just one position? Players who can drain threes and then post up on the next possession. Players like Bailey O'Brien.
Versatility. She can shoot the three, she can dribble, she can pass, she can post up. We often put her on the best player on the other team, whether it's a post or a guard, because of her versatility.
I consider myself a forward, but I just feel like I play where I need to play, like against who we're playing. Like if I have a bigger girl on me, it's nice to be able to play outside and make them defend out.
Although she's a senior, this is O'Brien's first year with Wartburg, having transferred to the Knights after taking a year off of basketball.
It's been a nice transition. I literally couldn't have asked for a better team. Like they've accepted me so well, especially like I felt like I've been here 4 years, even though I've only been here 1.
Coaches say O'Brien's experience outside the program has provided a new perspective for a young team.
It's positives for sure because she's had different experiences at different places. So for her to come in and speak to our team about, this is some things that I've seen in the past, or this is what worked, this is what didn't work.
O'Brien leads the Knights in scoring and rebounding on the season, averaging 10 points per game and more than 7 rebounds. Despite her success, Coach Oakland thinks she might be able to score even more.
Sometimes I try and see outside myself because I think I have a really good court sense, so sometimes I'm always trying to make that big play instead of just making it easy, and sometimes I overpass it and I get yelled at all the time just to go score, but I just like to play with everyone.
If there's one regret the team may have, it would be losing O'Brien after just 1 season. But 1 season may be enough for the positionless senior to lead Wartburg to its first NCAA tournament appearance since 2006. Reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Kyle Pomolia.
The men's basketball team also went to Coed to face off against the Cohawks in a major IIAC game. The Co fans came fired up for this one, and they would play a huge role. The Cohawks came out looking to bury Wartburg early with a 13-0 run, capped off by this Andrew Worth jumper. Thomas Perkins ended the scoreboard silence for the Knights with this 3 to get the deficit to 10. But Co was too much on this day as senior Seth Light muscles a layup in to expand the lead to 18. Wartburg tries to come back with this nice fast break connection from Flanor to Reinhardt, but the Knights would go into halftime in a major hole, 41-23. In the second half, it was just as ugly as the first as Seth Light gets behind the Knights' D for a great alley-oop. The only highlight for the Knights is when Eddie Deemer puts a co-defender on a poster with this emphatic slam. Wartburg took their starters out early and ended up losing 79-44.
They just came out with a lot more energy than we did. They played like there was payback involved in this game. And
Coach Paithwell, he's going to want to bury the tape after that game. Co shot 8 for 15 from behind the arc in the first half and shot 54% from the field for the game. The loss puts Wartburg into a second-place tie with Co at 8-4. Wartburg has a big week coming up as they face both first-place teams, Buena Vista in Levick on Wednesday and Luther Saturday in Decorah.
And when SportsKnight returns from break, the Waverly-Shell Rock wrestling team competed in districts this past weekend. Find out how many wrestlers made it to state.
And Wartburg had their annual Unified Sports Day. So don't go anywhere. More SportsKnight in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to SportsKnight. The 3A wrestling districts were being held at Waverly-Shell Rock on Saturday. The Go-Hawks are number 3 in the state and had 14 wrestlers that were trying to make it to the state tournament. So let's get right to the action. Waverly-Shell Rock got off to a good start as Nathan Sands pins his first man in the 113 weight class. He then got a pin in his next 2 matches and will be heading to state. In the 126 weight class, Justin Reicher also started out with a pin. He would then lose to Xavier's Clint Limbach in the championship, but he would bounce back and get second and also qualify for state. Waverly-Shell Rock's Andrew Steert won all of his matches in the 138 weight class pretty easily as he won his district and is heading to state as well. Corey Abernathy, also of Waverly-Shell Rock, had a great day. In the 145 class, he started out with a pin, and he was too strong for his opponent, and he then won by decision for his next 2 matches, and he will also be heading to state. Here, Nathan Sands gets his second pin of the day on his way to win the 113 weight class. And Thomas Foy of Waverly-Shell Rock got a bye for his first round. And then the 170 class is able to take down his man for a quick pin. He too would win his class and advance to state. And in the 120 class, Isaiah Mundo loses in the championship but was able to bounce back, win second, and also advance to state. The Go-Hawks won their district, crowned 6 champions, and had 9 wrestlers altogether qualify for the state meet this weekend at Wells Fargo Arena.
We talk about athletic events here all night long, but there's one particular event at Wartburg that is very dear to many people. Unified Sports Day is a day filled with every activity you can think of, all in which people with disabilities get to actively participate in. It's a day where they don't have to feel different, they're there to be an athlete.
Whether you're a football player, tennis player, basketball player, we get to go and we complain about a tough practice, like how much conditioning we do, but then to watch them just be so happy to make a layup or something simple like that, it really teaches you about your life.
There were a total of 160 volunteers and 120 athletes on Saturday. We'll be right back.
The men's and women's track team split up this weekend for 2 meets. The first was in Ames at the Iowa State Open. Wartburg had big success in the 800-meter run. Justin Meyer took 6th and Nicholas Green took 9th for the guys. Kendra Kriegel finished 2nd. Taylor Moore and Kayla Kriegel took 4th and 6th respectively. And Kayla Mullenbrook took 9th. Kayla Heeman and Britlin Seek took 4th and 6th place in the shot put for the women. Dylan Boyd took 5th place for the men.
This week, our Athlete of the Week is senior wrestler Dylan Azinger. The DeWitt native had a takedown with 7 seconds remaining in the 3rd period in Friday's conference championship duel. Azinger defeated the 10th ranked wrestler on his way to winning the IIAC Wrestler of the Week. And that's all the time we have for this show. Thanks for joining us.